call to order the Tuscarora Township Parks Commission special meeting of July 21st, 2025, 5 p.m. Roll call, Alan Maves.
Present.
Brian Henry.
Present.
Pat McGinnis.
Present.
Stacy Cole, present. Okay, public comments on the agenda. Okay, board comments on agenda. None? Okay, can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion passed. Approve the minutes from,
We have the minutes from June 3rd, June 19th, and July 1st of this year to approve. I'll make a motion that we approve those 3 sets of minutes.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carried. Can I get a motion to pay the bills?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Brian seconds. All in favor? Aye.
Who's seconded?
Brian seconded.
Brian, okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion
Any
passed.
discussion or no?
Oh, sorry, discussion? I forgot that
I
part,
don't
sorry.
think there is, but
Just to be safe.
I'm sorry.
yeah.
No discussion?
Nope.
Okay, motion passed. Sorry. All right. Time. So we asked for this meeting. There's just a few things I know that we had agreed to for your next year. One thing we do need to stress, you wanted to set up on the Monday, correct? The 10th?
In a perfect world, place Monday as the potential start time to skew for some weather.
Okay, the only issue that we saw is that Tuesday again will be the Women's Club meeting.
Okay,
It should not be a problem as long as the tent is up before that and nothing is going on, which nothing should be going on anyhow.
okay,
So there's not a lot of noise so that they can,
100%.
but
So-
other than that, they just need the pavilion.
Okay, and if there happened to be a trailer parked in adjacent to the pavilion,
Would have no problem.
Would no, okay,
okay.
no.
It-
It's
it-
mainly a noise
Is the
thing.
noise and people moving around.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
Just-
in a, I will 100% accommodate that there will be no activity during their time slot period.
Okay.
You're
All right.
married, aren't you? You know not to mess with a woman.
I also know not to say anything while the camera.
Okay. We do need to make sure you have to have your liability insurance starting the first day your tent goes up, or you have any equipment there or anything.
Okay, so I have it planned for minimum start time of 6:22, which is Monday,
Okay?
and then run through a duration of 6:29, which would be the following Monday.
Okay,
So,
Yep.
that will be fine. We have to have proof of it 60 days prior.
okay.
That's in our, and I don't know if you want to see this, do you guys want these? You want to look at our application form?
And I'll work with Rob on
Need a
that.
new one?
He's got alternate choices, because mine is claiming that's not an option. They
Okay,
can provide me guarantee that it's in place, they can't provide a binder is what they're telling me.
okay.
But Rob hits, because the last meeting when that was brought up, Rob had brought up, yes, I run into this with other townships. That's something we can navigate, and I'll certainly work with him. Maybe he's got an option on another agency that provides that.
Okay,
Because
It-
the snag I ran into this year is mine provided proof it was paid, proof it was in place. Her company claims that they are unwilling to provide a binder that far in advance. I don't know why I'm not an insurance agent.
right,
That
and,
might
right,
be company specific.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's the same company I've used for the last 3 years, so I'm quite, how do I say this? I try to align with the same people,
Yeah.
but if I need to change, it is what it is.
And I had called Rob, but he wasn't able to make it today. So, and we can work on that. That's in our reservations, that is full payment of rental facility and proof of insurance is due 60 days prior to the event.
Okay.
So we need to make that, just make sure that happens. Yeah. My biggest concern was the liability insurance
Yep.
because it wasn't
Totally understand.
the same time.
I guess I had a concern too about setting up early. You rented the facility and you set up early.
I respect that, and with the weather that was coming, the size of the tent, it's my bad, and we had an off conversation after the fact on why that took place. I had mentioned, I guess I thought I'd gotten approval because I was volunteering to take down the chamber tent, and then, so I will shoulder the blame for that.
Okay, is that gonna happen again? That's,
No, absolutely not. If I've got that Monday on the schedule, then no.
okay.
The biggest reason it got pushed forward is because originally, when we had agreed in February, my plan and thoughts were my tent would be up the week prior for the chamber.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yes, he was going to do it up for the chamber, and then I don't know what happened with that. I just miscommunication somewhere. I do remember us talking about that, and that was,
Because the year prior, that was the case, that we worked with the chamber, our tent was up for their event,
Okay,
and that would have been zero issue for me. That's why the dates were they were. But then when the chamber changed and went their own tent route, then that becomes a small snag. And that's where I screwed up and pushed the days forward, trying to, because where the chamber's tent was not, and it was a different tent, obviously. And on behalf of the women's club, let's assume I would have aligned with the original dates. They would have had a chamber tent in the way and all of the chamber's paraphernalia, along with an awful filthy pavilion that, as Doug can attest to, the minute we found out the women were coming, I emptied the pavilion myself, because it was full of mud and everything else.
The chamber was very late getting all of their stuff out this year.
I was
I will
down
agree with
there
that.
before the women's club showed up, and I will say Rob did clean. We had because of the rain, we had a lot of washout from the trail that was deposited in the pavilion. He cleaned all that out. It was very presentable for the women when they showed up for their picnic.
appreciate that, Rob.
yes.
Well, and I gotta be honest, that was, that's no big deal to me. It was just a matter of, if I wouldn't have been there maybe prematurely, they would have been dealing with the chamber's
Oh,
tent,
right,
all
right.
the other stuff that, and so the minute I found out they were coming, I'm like, all right, I'll empty the pavilion, I'll get the chamber stuff, I'll put it over here, their tent's coming down, I'll do my best. And then they did deal with probably a 30-minute into their timing of noise.
Right.
But that will absolutely not happen this year. That time slot will 100%, there will be nobody on the grounds
Okay.
doing anything.
And like everyone else said too, we do appreciate you cleaning that up. So,
With the early setup, is there gonna be someone that's gonna be around monitoring, just so we don't have random kids or people messing with your stuff?
I guess I can't say that I can, for the most part, we won't have stuff physically there till let's call it Thursday. But the early setup is simply to get tent placement, because the way that kinda lays out, and there's pretty much only one way in and one way out, to
Okay.
put everything in, kinda has to go in a specific order,
I got
which, how do I say this nicely, when you're dealing with 6 marinas, It's kinda like herding cats, you gotta give them a time slot, and the tent's gotta go first, then this, and that, I mean, then the bathroom trailer, and it's just,
Yeah.
so. And then, worst case scenario is just like Pat mentioned, literally the days leading up to the event, there was some pretty torrential rains.
Yeah.
If that took place, I kinda gotta bake in some of them days based on that.
Right.
Well, I mean, you're gonna have insurance, but I just don't wanna set yourself up to have stuff there and kids climbing on it and,
Fortunately,
hurt
from
and-
that perspective, boats, that kinda stuff
Yeah.
won't be there until Thursday,
Okay.
so. But it's the other, whatever, yeah.
yeah. I popped by this year, but everything was already up and running, so I didn't really
So,
see the
so where
setup
exactly is your tent set up in regards to the pavilion? I didn't get down there this year.
Okay, if this is the pavilion,
Okay.
his tent ran from just this side of the playground, set up out to
Oh,
about
okay,
there.
okay, okay.
So I
And
guess
it was on the lower
officially
Marina
that
Park
would be
side.
So
the eastern
people
side of
coming
the
in
pavilion.
were not,
Correct,
they wouldn't have to worry about using the pavilion if they wanted to?
correct.
No, the pavilion's open right there on the side of the
Okay,
trail
perfect,
off the edge of
perfect.
his.
And the chambers tent was actually what would be on the north side of the pavilion.
It was wrapped around and attached to the pavilion.
Okay.
And mine doesn't attach to the pavilion.
Okay. All right, appreciate that.
Doug, on your side of it, was the porta-john dumpsters and stuff all up to what you expected?
Yeah, everything was fine. The event went well. There was nothing there. I mean, the only thing is that I would say is that offer the board a little courtesy heads up. You've in the past come through like you've tried to push your way through, and that's left some hard feelings throughout. Just a heads up for you. I mean, you have kind of steamrolled us a bit, and I'd like to make good relations, and
Totally understand.
that will help a lot if you give us the courtesy of heads up phone calls, respect, you know what I mean? Follow through on what you say and things will go great. The event was clean, well attended, everything went great that way. So that the communication and respect mutually, both ways, will go a long way.
And I will also say that the communication in the last 40 days has been better than the prior. And maybe, how do I say this nicely, maybe my lack of diplomacy was in relation to the communication I was receiving.
Could be. I mean, the township is going through a growing phase right now, and there are lots of things that have changed in the time that I've been here. Things are totally different.
And I absolutely, and I guess the biggest thing I want to convey is I don't want this to feel like a private event. I want this to be a community event, and I want to grow it towards a bigger and better community event. One of the main changes I'm making is I don't think we've done a good job of conveying that Friday and Saturday night is open to the public.
Oh, no.
No?
I wasn't aware of that. I thought it was
Wasn't aware of
only
that.
if you were
For
in
your,
it,
No.
yep.
then
No.
those are the people who get to go.
No. The only thing that theoretically requires a wristband is inside the tent, because that's where food's served, because they obviously paid
Right.
for it.
Right.
But the whole atmosphere, I wanna, my overall long-term goal is the town of Boyne City goes bananas on Friday night prior to Boyne Thunder's event, and that's my hope, to get all the restaurants, everybody involved in it. This year's event, we finally got to capacity, so now we can kind of start managing what capacity is, what maximization. We're just shy of about 30,000 is what we gave away in awards and benefactors in the Lakes Community Schools, the food pantry, and there was a tiny little gift to the women's club. So we did do a fair amount of fundraising.
Could you clarify at maximum capacity? I
So-
mean,
so-
you'll accept registrations as long as they're coming in time, correct?
As long as they're coming in in time, but we are limited to 108. As far as boats go.
What makes that limit?
The ability to manage it, the ability to manage the card opening on Saturday night, to not delay everything, and the official, to be quite frank, is 2 decks of cards and 2 jokers add up to 108.
Okay.
Okay, gotcha.
There you go. I knew there was some reason that 108 was a,
But this year,
yes.
for instance, we started opening cards at 6:30 and probably took to almost 8:30. And unfortunately, that kind of creates a line. Not everybody's there at 6:30, but it kind of creates a line. That kind of
Oh, yeah.
creates a little, and we want to speak. And the way you're doing all that, you can open multiple, but then because we take the cards because it's completely random and it's not a race. They all have their cards in sealed envelopes. So you open the sealed envelopes. You have no idea what cards you have. You can't redraw or anything else. So you take those cards, fan them out, and next to your boat number, you staple them on. Well, as
Okay.
that progresses, it gets kind of busy and hectic. Well, that's plenty. If I can-
yeah, I mean,
and you take, we average about 6 people per boat. So that's there was 690 is what we fed Saturday night. So,
Cool.
yeah.
Awesome.
And you know, our goal for Friday night, I mean, they estimate Friday night was about 1,000 people there. Our goal is to double and triple because we wanna make it more aware that it's public, it's open to the public. The only thing that's not is when we're serving food. which,
Right.
You know, the tent basically is just tables for people to eat, and that's where the food is. Everything
Okay.
else is outside, you know, you gotta
Okay.
have a space for 700 people, and it's kind of a big tent.
Absolutely.
You can figure out a way to better advertise that throughout the community, you'll probably get more people showing up as well.
Right, 100%, and that's, you know, and again, it's kind of, okay, yes, this year was our third,
Yeah.
it's kind of, let's fine tune our processes, and then let's try to start blowing it up a little bit more in that regard. And, I'm working with Jacob, they're gonna obviously have in between open by next year.
It's
Yeah.
open.
I know,
Yeah,
but the
Somewhat.
whole aspect,
Oh,
the
okay.
condos and everything,
Yeah.
but, so that's a goal, and, you know, that's an opportunity to, during the actual event, to maybe sell tables that all the proceeds go to a fundraiser, cause that's what Boyne City does on their,
Yeah.
you know, so, again, trying to get more, maximize fundraising opportunity for the local charities, cause we're only doing local charities.
Cool.
So.
The food pantry, are you talking the Joy Fellowship Food Pantry? Okay. Just wondering. Our church donates, so. That's a learning process.
Yeah,
It-
they just, it was kinda neat, I got a note from her last night that that was the biggest, donation they've ever received, so that was kinda fun.
That's nice.
good.
And like you said, you know, yes, it's the third year, but it's still a learning process.
Right.
You learn as you go, and we change and we work together.
And, you know,
That's my biggest thing, is we need to work together. Let's have a good working relationship and work together.
Yep,
And more
that's,
importantly, I desperately, to your point, I want this to feel like a community event, not a private event, cause, I mean, when there was some tumultuous times, is there opportunities to find a different location? Absolutely, but it's not here as community-based then, if that's the case, and I don't want this to be just a private party. That's not the goal. I mean, like I said, my long-term strategy to try to make Friday nights downtown Indian River as neat as Boyne Thunders is, and then, you know, they raise an amazing amount for local charities, and that's the goal.
Okay.
I don't know if you do this, but maybe it might be good to have some signs made that saying you must have a wristband to get in the food line.
Well,
And put
what
those signs up at
it's funny you say that, Pat. My plan is to have more signs made for the town, open to the public Friday and Saturday night with this time slot. And then, next to the tent, wristbands required for entry. So the public knows to come to the park, but then when they get close to the tent, it's wristbands required.
You might wanna specify, though, that you can only get a wristband if you're in the event.
I mean, truthfully, you can purchase additional wristbands.
Okay.
But it's cost prohibitive because catering is not.
Right, I'm just, because
Right.
otherwise people are gonna see that sign, well, where do I get a wristband so that I, you know, just, people will,
I totally get it.
oh, I mean,
And in most cases, when somebody
Right.
walked up, hand them a wristband, you know, it was just kind of one of them things, because it was, but as public gets, and the nice part is, there really won't be, I mean, it's not like there's circus actors in the tent.
Right.
There's no
Right.
reason to go in the tent, it's
Right.
tables and chairs with people sitting, it's, you know,
Right, and
it's
they're-
office
it's,
out and around.
exactly, but you're gonna have that person.
I get it.
you always have
You always have that person. Anybody have?
Is there an opportunity to either put this part of this agenda or work towards the future that we can do a 3-year guarantee with a 5-year option? Or I know he was looking at possibly doing that as a contract, Bob was. And obviously, I wanna create loopholes that if we don't do whatever you're asked upon, you can, you know.
Well, and our, part of the concern on that is, I guess we'll just be right up front. We can't guarantee that what we're charging isn't going to change as things go on and as we need, I mean, I don't know how you know, kind
Well,
of like,
but one thing to keep in mind, Rob, is every 4 years, this board's subject to complete change. And we cannot commit an incoming board to something that they would be against, because they could change it. Just,
We also
Go
want to be
different-
careful about setting precedents too.
Yeah.
Because if we do this for one organization or group, then to be fair and consistent, we have to do it for everybody. And because of the other reasons that were just mentioned, it works best, in my opinion, to do a year at a time.
I understand Rob's point of
Yeah.
wanting multiple years, because that allows him to tell his vendors and stuff, come with us this year, you get a discount for your second year, or third year, fourth year, or something. He gives them something to play with
Blowing
to
Thunder's on year
market.
25 in the same spot.
Yeah.
And it's hard to make a 25-year vision
Yeah.
on a yearly what if. And that's, and quite honestly, that becomes a position that, at what point do I say, I need to look for somebody else or somewhere else that will create that long, you know, and that makes it rough. Cause Boyne Thunder's in the local park in Boyne City, so
Yeah.
I guess I think it's a similar scenario, but
Could
they're
be.
on year 25.
I don't know.
I would
I don't know if
suggest
they have a-
doing it year to year for now, and after this 2026 show, see how it goes and revisit it.
Is there an opportunity, can I at least try to get on some sort of an agenda to have a locked-in 2027 date prior to my 2026 date taking place?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get on the agenda, like, so, and I didn't even think of Pat's point, but that's right. We might not be the next board, and we can't really, in all fairness, lock
It makes
something in.
everything easier if during the event,
Mm-hmm.
you can confidently say to the vendors, the people, the everything, save the date, same spot, same place.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, let's go back to the women's club, for instance. We know that on that third Tuesday at 6 o'clock in June, they are going, or July, they're going to be having their picnic. That's, has been and will be.
Right, but they annually
Yeah.
In
request
July
it.
or June?
They do it
July,
annually,
June.
yes.
And they annually request it.
Yeah.
His
The
is-
boat races are in their 75th, 76th, something like that.
72.
Every year it's an annual agreement with them. I just got some of the paperwork through today.
How, so, and I'm certainly not, I'm glad you brought up
But-
boat races and the
yep.
women's club. How did I not have an issue a year ago with the women's club?
Say that again, please.
Because if you remember correctly, it was a different week. This year, it was
The way the
goofy this
calendar-
year. The way the calendar
Years
went.
up, yeah.
Remember, you weren't with the chamber the way you were this year.
Yeah, we were,
There was a difference in it because of the way the fourth fall. There was something different in the calendar.
cause the way I have mine set up is the fourth Saturday. The
Right.
chamber went to the third Saturday, and the women's club is the fourth Tuesday.
Third, I think it is. They're gonna be the 23rd.
Oh, there was
this coming
something
year.
goofy with the calendar this year, remember,
was
because
a
everybody, it'll never happen, it won't happen again like this for 15 years or whatever, something,
Okay,
but
so you
there
said
was a strange, anyway,
the women's
and then I
club,
have no answer.
well, if the women's club is the third Tuesday, that's not even gonna coincide with this.
Not the 13th, is it? It's
Right.
the
No, it's the
23rd?
16th.
Tuesday?
The third Tuesday of June, next year, is the 16th of June. That's 2026, the
Yeah.
third Tuesday. So the 23rd wouldn't be on the, if it's the third Tuesday, it's not gonna have anything to do with it.
So anyway,
Cause he wants
regardless,
it the
it doesn't.
22nd through.
Yeah, either way, Rob's
doesn't
already
ma-
said he will be out of the way, so
Right.
whenever
Right.
it happens,
Right,
it's,
and the point of
But-
the whole thing is that everybody does annually. We have no long-term arrangements with any event, even the ones that have been in town forever.
Years.
So,
well,
so-
like Doug was saying, the boat races, they've been, what, 80 years now?
Yeah,
And they-
whatever, like Alan
year
said,
to year, but-
72 this year? Is that
That's what I
it is?
think.
Okay, it's been for a long time, I mean,
72 with this current
is there a
format, they
time
split it
slot that I
for
can
all in one
request
day the
my-
first couple
Oh,
of years.
you're correct. Yep.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Like how far in advance can you
Yeah.
fill out your application to request it?
Day after your,
But that.
he
so
wants
that-
to know
or
before
day
his
before,
event.
Well, what I'm
or the
hoping-
week before, or whatever.
Well, what I'm hoping is to be able to announce it at the event that it's approved for the
Absolutely.
following year.
And I would see no reason why you wouldn't be able to.
Okay,
So I would say all you would have to do is
so could I do January of this year, request for 27?
January of 26.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, perfect, I'll plan for that.
it'll be the first Tuesday of the month. Actually, I don't even know, he doesn't even, does he have to come to a meeting? Doesn't he just
No,
have
it just
to?
says-
You just have to fill out
Just-
this application and
Call
get
the
it here?
clerk.
Okay,
And then,
I mean, you can be here if you want.
yeah, you
If
can,
it's on the agenda, it'll be.
Yeah.
You can actually fill out the whole thing online, I believe.
yes, I think you can do them online now. But yeah, you just fill that out and get it in, and then
perfect. That
we
makes-
will put it
Yeah.
on the agenda to talk about, right, or, but, yeah.
And the only, as far as wording goes, that caused some snags with my contract last year, is it requested dumpster and it requested porta potties.
Correct.
That's
Right.
county issue.
And I had a bathroom trailer, not porta potties.
Which is,
Correct. And I was just, I had made a note of that you said you had 1,000 people? What's that thing rated for? I'm sure it's not rated for,
He pumped it Friday night, or let's call it Saturday morning. It's 4 stalls. So he says it's rated for, each stall is rated for 200 people, is what
Okay.
he claims.
okay, that's all my question was.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I see that it's got 2 doors, so to me, that's a 2-holer and,
And then my dumpster, 310 station has dumpsters right
Yep.
there. And I've never left garbage behind nor will I.
no, it was clean, it was fine, I was fine
Yep.
with
I was,
the arrangements. The only question I did have was on because the
So
1,000
when-
people,
so
and if
when
it'll
I get
handle
the
800,
contract,
I'm
maybe we'll
fine with that.
navigate those 2 items to be slightly differently worded, because I don't want that to be a snag up, that I didn't have a dumpster, I did, I make sure that I'm using 310's dumpster, I'm not providing an additional one.
right, and I think if you just put that note, but as far as it says porta johns, it's portable restroom such as, so that
Right.
trailer is fine, as long as
Right,
you're
and
providing
it
the
accommodates
bathrooms.
800 people,
Yep.
we won't have a problem with that.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
that's,
that'll be fine.
Now, I
I,
will say, and I didn't hear or check it Friday and Saturday, but I did hear on Thursday, because ours went up and running,
Right.
keys were locked, that the public ones had an issue on Thursday. Never heard it the rest of the weekend, but, and the only reason I know that is because there was somebody setting up and ours were locked, and there was an overflow situation on the public ones. I don't know who's in charge of those, but,
yeah, and that's not uncommon. We go there a lot.
Okay. Does anybody else have any more questions or issues?
as far as, because I know it had been brought up this year, can I get approval to use more of the park ground, meaning the spot between 310 and the parking area?
We do not control that.
That's, community space, and
We can't.
you're probably not gonna get permission to go, I mean, that just,
We have several issues. There's sprinkler heads in there. Like I said, it's a common space, so we can't not let people be in there. We can't rent that out.
it's under the township's control, but they don't really wanna open it to that, they don't wanna start doing that. It's where we have our community, Indian River Christmas is there, the community, true community things happening. It's always just been an open green space that nothing has ever really been put on. So, and when it was brought up this year, that was, the feedback I got was that was the way people would like to keep that. So at this point, that's, I mean, you always request again because it is a revolving,
Right.
everything changes and it may become
But-
available, but at this point,
It's not, and that would have to go before the township
that would be a
board, not a
township
parks
board,
board.
not
Yeah,
a
that would
parks
be the
board.
township
That's a
board that you would
township
have
property,
to
but
go to.
Okay, no problem.
Parks
So-
is not in charge of that.
Okay, no problem. That, well, that makes.
it's
perfect
just.
sense. And I'm just looking at trying to find opportunities to expand.
Right.
Yep.
I do know one of the, because when it was asked this year, one of the concerns was there are sprinkler heads, and if you're putting,
Trailers or whatever.
Trailers or
With a sprinkler,
vehicles,
that's a bad thing.
yeah.
I totally get that.
you might not see it, run over it, whatever,
I
so
totally
that's.
get that. I did notice on your poles, because I think we removed one or two, but put them back, and I noticed you've got them string line now.
Yep.
Is that such that, and I'm only thinking a year in advance, is that something that? next-
We would open it up and accommodate you.
Okay,
We, with as close as you were to the fourth and as short-handed as I was, things did not get barricaded back off, which was on me. I'm not blaming you for this, but the reason that is up, if you give one person an inch,
oh, I was.
they will go a mile.
So here's my statement to you. Leverage me for help because it's close to the fourth. If you want the line put back up, tell me. It'll be put back up before I leave.
Okay, yep. Yeah, I'm looking at doing something different down there for next year, but the fourth is just out of control. It doesn't, that was a minor. I ran down there and took care of that in minutes. That was simple.
Okay.
Some of,
I just noticed, because like I said,
Yeah.
I come up here every weekend.
Yeah.
But, and I noticed that, and it's like, okay, well, I just wanna navigate that before we get,
yep, and you see how now they're up over at the boat launch because they parked all over the grass over there on a weekend, busy weekend. It's just, when you stop them one place, they go somewhere else. So nothing against, it's just, and yes, I will accommodate you coming and going, and as long as you get permission from Steve to go through his, that doesn't bother me, other than I'm gonna reposition the rocks again
after the fact.
after, because,
Yeah, totally get it, cause I noticed that,
From-
that you put those back, and fortunately, Steve and I think Jim Pirtle's the one that.
Oh, yeah.
And that's who mows all that,
Right.
and if you got the
Yep.
rocks, we'll put the rocks back,
Yeah.
that's 100%.
no, I just do that to help keep the golf carts and the side-by-sides under control a bit.
I respect that.
And it's about like trying to tame the geese. I mean, it's not, you lose.
And if you have the strings prior to me
Yep.
getting here, obviously we'll stay in touch, and I'll make sure that they're put back up the same way when we leave, that's no big
Yep.
deal.
Yep, I'm thinking about a simpler solution to the whole thing, so.
Awesome.
Any,
I have nothing else.
Rob?
To your point, I wanna make sure that the perception of abrasiveness ends right now, and how do I say this nicely? Sometimes I answer text or email maybe while driving, and it may come as short, so read that accordingly, but only because I try to be prompt. I've got 400 customers, and if you let stuff go, it becomes.
oh, absolutely.
So, but if you have any inkling that this is not a collaborative, then I'm a face-to-face guy and we'll sort it out. Cause I want this to be a community growth. Like I said, we're finally able to start the benefactors of some stuff to the local charities, and I wanna grow that.
I appreciate that.
So,
I'm all about local. Any other,
I think we're
we get
All in
everybody's
agreement.
questions,
Yeah,
and, okay, everything's, okay,
The
so,
only thing that leaves open that I will work with Rob or somebody on is how to navigate this binder 60 days in advance.
Right.
And it sounds like that may be a new avenue for me to pursue, my current one, but I'll do everything. Fortunately, this isn't day 61, so I got a little bit.
exactly, we have time.
And
Which
correct-
is why I wanted to do this before, so we can get this all hashed out before and get everything figured out.
correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you agree with Rob and Rob that Rob would pay Rob
Yes.
to put together some sort of a long-term agreement.
You are spot on.
If-
Rob
Okay,
recommended.
okay,
But-
so,
If that's what we're going to do, but we can't,
well, don't
What do
you
you
need
mean by-
to, now if you've went this, don't you deserve him the respect of at least looking at what comes together? If there isn't some way, our lawyer is going to put this together, and he's saying that it is doable. I mean, don't you deserve to look at what comes before you and make a decision before we make a decision? Or
I'll
stop
help
him
you.
in effect from
I'll
paying
help
for
you with
anything?
that. So we've made the commitment to
Right.
Rob that he said it'd be an hour of his time.
Right.
I've made the commitment that I'll pay an hour of his time. Let's go down the path of him spending that hour of his time to
Right.
present it to you. And at least that creates a paper
Okay.
roadmap, because that puts all of our commitments out on the table as though we've done it.
right?
Correct.
If it's not doable from that commitment, it is what it is, but at least we've all
Or we
kept
could
the
pass-
ball rolling.
Right.
Right,
Is that
and
what
that's
you're
where I
saying?
was going.
Is to go ahead and do
yes,
it.
you do
Okay.
you, you owe it, to me, the board owes you that.
Yes.
I mean,
And
that,
then you can you can all look at that, you can all navigate it, and if we need to do it where it road stamps at every election,
Right.
which I respect, I also understand that as well. But the goal to plan an event for long-term is, from this side of the desk, hard, the boat races gives me comfort, knowing that it's annual, but you know what I mean, from
Oh,
my side of the
absolutely.
table,
Correct.
knowing that it's annual, kinda starts to go.
yeah.
Right.
And
Oh,
after
absolutely.
72, they're pretty comfortable in where they're at.
Right,
You-
but-
You know what I mean? And you were in 3, you're trying to get some comfort level. I get that.
Absolutely.
I ran a canoe race here in town for years, and it was, you're questioning whether you're gonna go down to the bank and take a little money. I was at that time, a little money, out to cover what I said I could put out. And
And then-
fortunately, I always managed to find it plus because, but if you don't know, you go on a calendar and you're putting something out there, so I think it's not a bad thing.
Absolutely, and it's not like we can go through if we wanna make changes, whatever. So, yeah, you're definitely more than welcome, get with Rob, you guys get that figured out and,
And the only follow-up I'll make, because of the small conflict of the women's club on Tuesday, is clearly this doesn't need to happen today, but at some point in time before we get closer, I wanna make sure that I have the time window to make sure there's nothing,
yes.
you know what I'm saying? I
Right.
wanna accommodate that scenario. The one small complaint they had with me, besides the noise, besides the everything else, which is intriguing, they claim that where my tent is where they parked. And I tried to direct them, because there was no other boats, there was no other things. So if the tent was here, you can still get really close to the pavilion over here. So that's the only thing that maybe Doug can help us navigate with them is,
Yeah, and
And it was not so much where they parked to park, but where they wanted to park to unload. And
Oh,
I
they
felt
wanted
the
it,
south
okay.
end of the pavilion gave them plenty of room to do that.
and when I
Yeah.
tried to help direct them over there, they all still parked way down almost by the 310 dumpsters, and we're carrying it a long way, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, that's
I
where
get
they
you don't have one
normally,
full side, but you still have another full side that you could get cars to.
yeah,
The problem is the first lady parked, and as you know, when the first, your goose scenario, when the
Right.
first one parks, that kind of sets the stage to all of the snap.
Yeah.
Precedent,
Yep.
yes.
yeah, one sheep walks over the cliff, the rest of them are going
We're
too. I
following.
mean, just,
So,
All right,